Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Vitality Secret podcast. I'm delighted to be here again with my friend, Kristin Kilmer. She's also the founder of Kristin Kilmer, Life and Style, Harmonizing Health and Home. And she also is in remission from severe Lyme. And we're going to be talking about this and a number of different things. She's now a trance channel, which is something that really fascinates me. And we'll go into it in just a second, but let's just say she's experiencing some pretty incredible stuff and giving people access to some information that they might not have been able to access before. So without further ado, Kristin, hello and welcome.
Hello, Neil. Thank you so much for having me. Always good. I wish we could do it in person, but next best thing, right?
Absolutely. Thank you, technology. Thank you, Zoom, for making this happen.
Yes.
So there's a few things I'd love to touch on in this interview. And I'd like to start just by recapping what you did with Lyme, because a lot of people will suffer severely from Lyme without understanding that there's a lot that can be done with the body to heal your body from it and live for the most part in remission. So can you just give us a bit of a background on your story with that and how then you got into your current business, and then we can move on to the really exciting stuff about talking to spirit.
Okay. Well, what didn't I do for Lyme? I mean, that is the tricky thing, because what I often tell people is Lyme really does show up in each individual very differently. It's kind of its own ecosystem, and some people get more neurological symptoms, some people get more neuromuscular, some people get more digestion, and then it kind of moves around, right? It's a very smart bacteria. And so with that being said, there's no one size fits all treatment. When I was first diagnosed, everyone says, oh, great, well, you can treat it. And even my doctor that diagnosed me was like, well, we can try this and we can try this and we can try this. And she kind of put it in my own hands. And you really do have to become your own best health advocate. You can't completely treat yourself, but you've got to do the research and do the work. And as we've talked about many times, it really is a mind, body, spirit approach. So yes, you have to address the physical, but you also have to address the emotional traumas, and then anything that might be, in the esoteric realm can also really be beneficial. And that's why I unknowingly became so interested in the clairvoyant world and the trance channel world, because there really are forces around us. And, just like the earth has a magnetic field, so does the universe, so do our bodies. We're all interconnected. And I find by using this approach, that was the best method of healing.
I just thought, this has been amazing. I'm a big fan of Abraham Hicks, and I've been listening to them that's going to sound weird, isn't it? The spirit consciousness, known as the teachings of Abraham. And I've been listening to them for a few years. And when I had my session with you a few months ago, it was like I was talking directly to them. Like you pretty much left your body. You didn't, but you're still there. I was talking to you, but your voice changed, your vocabulary changed, and everything changed about the way you delivered the message to me. And I've still got the recording on my phone and I often refer to it. I'm just wondering, this is very, very powerful stuff for people who want, these answers that you're talking about earlier, and it can really accelerate the healing process, can't it? If we're talking about healing, the body, spirit, they know what we need to heal. And we've been kind of kept from this knowing. Certain organizations don't want us talking to spirit because of whatever reason. And, you've shared before how this has been a pivotal or crucial part of your healing journey. And it is with many other people I know as well. I know people on the ayahuasca circles who have been using ayahuasca as part of the healing cancer protocol to get answers sometimes. So I want to ask you a question. Would you be interested in doing a little 3-minute channel session now?
Spirit says yes. It makes me as a person nervous, but it's not about me. It's about the messages that are needing to come through. So let's do it. You want to do it?
Let's do it.
Okay. So with my clients, I always like to get a little bit of a meditative space first. So if you could just sit with your feet planted flat on the floor, your palms up. That's why I have this big ring here. This is my channeling ring. I wear a lot of crystals, because of the protective qualities as well. And then, yes, so palms up on your lap, feet planted on the floor, and we're going to take a deep breath together. And we're just going to sigh out the energy of the day. I always say, let's bring our etheric body into our physical body. So you're putting your toes in your toes, your feet in your feet. Feel the weight of your ankles and your calves. Put your knees in your knees. Feel the weight of your thighs. I'm going to do this a little quickly since we're live. And just really bring that etheric body into your physical body so you're more grounded. I always say that we can manifest the more that we're in present time. And, you know, when at night we leave and go in the astral, but even during the day, you notice if sometimes you drive and next thing you know, you're 2 blocks away because you're just spacey, right? You're not in your body. So just really bring that etheric body into your physical body. Feel the weight of your palms relaxing on your lap. And we're going to attach a grounding cord from the base of our spine about 6 inches in diameter and just let it go down, down, down in the center of the earth where it really gets rooted down. Just take another deep breath. And just really sigh out any energy that's stale, that doesn't no longer serve you. Let it go down that grounding cord into the center of the earth where it gets reused and reusable life force energy. And I always love to give Mother Nature some love to assist us in this process. So it's an equal energy exchange. And I always like to call on Archangel Michael of the highest protective white light energy, and bring that in the center of your heart chakra and let it expand out through your auric field, expanding out into the entire room. And I always call in the blue-violet flame of Saint Germain. Let it go through your crown chakra and let it go through your entire body. Let it bifurcate down your arms. Let it expand out through your aura in the entire room so you're cleansed and purified. And then I only call in the highest and brightest source energy of any ancestors, masters, teachers, healers, saints, and angels, but only the highest and brightest source energy of the highest light, of the highest Christ consciousness to be with us during this time to receive information for the highest good of all concerned, of anyone that is hearing, that is hurting, that needs clarity and guidance. And I ask these beings to merge with me. There are many higher beings of light coming through here to talk with all of us today, from the highest angelic council, from the highest ascended masters, to give you information on the clarity that you are looking for in this moment in time. A lot of people have really been turning inward. There is a lot more nervous energy that's been accumulating over the last 10 days or so, accumulating, and people are almost hitting a boiling point now. There's a lot of duress inside people's souls, but we're saying it's time to clear all this energy, dear ones, because it's not just the energy of now, the present moment, but it's the energy of collective traumas and collective shadows from past lives and also past circumstances from your own lives. You're being asked to look at some of your old actions and patterns, and you're being asked to forgive yourself first and foremost. So many people have been so hard on themselves and so hard on people around them because of the traumas that they've experienced, and this has turned into an outward projection of what we are seeing all around us. Yes, there are viruses that are real. Yes, 5G is real. Yes, the volcanoes are here. Yes, the tremors are real. All of it is real, but there are all different realities that you can choose. There are different realities that you can choose in each given moment, and which way are you going to go? We will see suffering. We will see death. They are not the ones suffering, dear ones. They are the ones that are heading to the light and are ready to rejuvenate and go to the light. You are the ones that will be processing this grief, and we say, do not hold on to this grief. Feel the grief and feel the pain and let it go into old pains and old wounds so that you can finally release them for good. There is so much chatter and thought. This was a time for the world to slow down, for people to slow down, and people started to slow down and they started to go inward. And then the old patterns came back, just like a thermostat switches the different temperatures. The old patterns came back of being busy in the mind and being busy in the nervous system. And we say, calm your nervous system, dear one. Do what it takes. Do the breath work. Take your cold showers and be with each other in community. We need community more than ever right now. And this is a new world and a new way to form community within different ways of meeting people that you may not have ever known by the computer. So the technology isn't all bad. Use it to your advantage and know that you are divinely guided and protected during this time, and reach out to us and be in that feeling state. See yourself in the future as if it is now so made manifest. People say, oh, I want this and I want that, but that shows lack, dear ones. When you're saying you want to the universe, that's showing that you don't believe you can have it. So be in gratitude. Oh, I'm so grateful for this newfound healing and health that I found. I'm so grateful for the traumas that I've released. I am so grateful for the new relationships that I have yet to express. I'm so grateful for the new fulfilling work that I'm about to manifest. I'm grateful for the way that I have been able to recalibrate my body during this time and the new creative ideas that are coming through. So be very mindful of your thoughts and feelings, dear one, for it is all a vibration. And the more that we collectively create good feeling thoughts within our bodies and our hearts and emit it out to those, the more we go to the light, the more the light will show up. It is so easy to go to the dark and get into the conspiracies and get into this and that, and yes, we say be very informed, but not inundated, and always explore the shadow, but then go to the light. And we would like to open this for questions. We know this is a different format, but Neil, would you like to ask anything that may be beneficial to you and those around us?
Well, you've certainly touched on a few topics that I know that I needed to address. And you even mentioned my cold showers and breath work. I've been doing that every day for my immune system, particularly, which is very interesting. So one of the biggest questions I have at the moment, because I do have a tendency of exploring so-called conspiracy, behind what's happening, and it can be a little bit dark. And I'm very conscious of that. So I have to consciously shift away from that vibration, which can get quite negative, and focus on how I can deliver the best to people, how I can serve the best. So I guess I've said a lot of things here. My question is, how can I best serve people right now?
We are seeing you as someone that is able to absorb information in a very rapid way. You have you have a cone above your head, like this large heart, seventh chakra. So not only are you receiving information from the media and more of the quote unquote dark forces, but you are also receiving lots of information from the light beings. And so we ask that while you ingest this information that may seem quote unquote dark, process it through the light beings that are around you so that you get the truest and most accurate information. You have a very beautiful ability of taking very complex topics and kind of whittling them down into layman's terms that many people can ingest. And so what is being asked of you, because you are a messenger and you are a messenger of light and you are a messenger that can get messages out to a grand scale of people, by doing this, by going to the light, saying what is possible and saying what we can do to create the solution around us. How can we create more unity and more light from this possible downsurge or possible danger? How can we, it's Mother Teresa said it best, we almost said, how can we fight back? But we stopped ourselves through the channel's consciousness, and we're saying, always look towards the peace rally, always look towards the method of peace. You are on the right track. Continue to ingest the information that you feel is best for you, because you are your own divine channel, and know that you are also being divinely guided. But take it into layman terms and then come up with the ways of finding solutions. For example, if you're worried about 5G, give the list of resources where people can sign petitions easily to protest against 5G. Put the fear out. If it's not necessarily fear, put out the knowledge of it, and then put out the possible solution so that there is a closed loop system. What is beautiful right now with what's going on in the world is we are just like computers are an open source system. We are having to become that ourselves. We cannot be our own internal ecosystem. This is actually affecting our gut microbiome. Many people are experiencing a lot of issues with their enteric nervous system right now, and this is happening more and more because the ecosystem, just as above, so below, is changing. What is happening internally is an outward projection and vice versa. So we are asking of you to understand that you are creating a beautiful community. Focus on the beautiful community that you are creating. And just like computers and many people contribute to the software that is happening, you will have other people contributing to the software. If you find out this information, run it through 3 or 4 people, to find out if it is indeed accurate before you post, and then also find out where the solutions are, where we can band together as a community. We as a light tribe can increase this vibration at a very rapid rate. It is happening. This is a new dawn. This is the great awakening. This is the crown chakra, and we need to look towards the light and our guides. They are really here with us.
Amazing, thank you. That's incredible. So I have a tendency of putting my own business on hold by going into this area of what's currently happening in our current situation, call it the coronavirus or call it 5G or whatever else. I have a tendency of just parking my own business because I see that that's more important. Do you have any recommendations as to how I can do both, or just focus on my business and helping people to heal themselves during this time?
This does require a little bit of discipline on your part. This is where the practical 3D information does come through. It is still valid. We are on this earth and we are earthly beings and we are growing through Earth School. We see a couple of options for you. If you have a lot of information that you are putting out, you can ask for people to quote unquote tip you, whether it's through PayPal or some other form of digital transaction, or you can ask people to refer you to other people. But we see you allotting a certain amount of time each day for each task at hand. It's important for you to grow your business, because as you fill up your chalice, then you can extend more services to those around you. Know that your business is a service that is healing the planet, that's healing a lot of people, and it is just as necessary as finding out about this research. One does not take precedence over the other, because your purpose is to help other people heal themselves. It's to empower other people. So remember, when you say this is more important, it is equally important that you give proper time to all things. But there's an analogy they're showing me called like a jazz band. Sometimes the sax takes the lead, sometimes the drums take the lead, sometimes the baritone takes the lead, but they are all synergistically playing at the same time so that they can synergistically form their music and raise their vibration together. So keep that in mind when you're doing your work on a daily basis. We are also seeing you need to take time just to be. You need a day or half a day, if a day is too much for you, to just be quiet, to be in nature, to communicate with your guides, to be grounded in the earth, to get those bare feet in the earth and stay off technology so that you can rejuvenate and also get information that way. This is a very powerful way of increasing your vibration and getting information through the higher forces.
Amazing. Thank you so much. It's interesting. I feel like I know a lot of these answers. They're kind of there, and you're helping to kind of confirm what I'm hearing. And that's not Thank you so much, Kristin.
I quickly want to acknowledge that many people do have the answers, and that is why it's nice to have community to bounce ideas off of, but also to have that deep knowingness and validation. It is nice as humans to get this validation, but always know you have your own counsel to trust, and we all have many, many guides, and there's so many resources out there for that support.
Wonderful. Thank you so much to Kristin and my guides and all of you.
And we will close this with a prayer. May the blessings of Supreme Being, Divine Mother, and Infinite Source. Thank you so much for all the information that has come through. Please be with us all and guide us on our paths today and forever. And thank you so much for this information. We are humbly grateful for your guidance. And thank you to Neil for inviting us in this space for the first time. Amen.
Amen. Whew.
That was a lot.
So how much of that do you remember? How much were you present for this? Do you tend to stay mostly in now?
I'm about, I would say I'm 30% there. You know, my mentors, they completely leave. And I will be doing that. I know that that's part of my path, but I will be a little technical here. So I learned clairvoyance first, which is clear seeing, where you're really grounded and you're really with your guides and you bring your aura in and you run energy and you're in trance, but you're still there. And then when you do trance channeling, you merge and you really leave their body. So they're very conflicting, actually, disciplines. So what I am being told and taught right now is to combine them both until I don't. You know? So
interesting.
it's a little bit of both right now. Yeah.
Because we're both aware of Red Eagle and Abraham Hicks. They kind of leave. They are full on trance channelers. They leave the body, don't they?
And I've been doing these group channelings. Like last night, I did a group channeling, and I did this. I gave a message to the collective consciousness, and then because it's so many people, then I opened my eyes and I talk more in my normal voice, but it was the same messages were coming through. So I'm, every trance channel kind of makes it their own based on their own guidance, and there's always still a little bit of belief system there. I think I shared that video with you with Teal Swan, how, know that these beings that are coming through, they're still having to process through my level of consciousness. So imagine if I was translating Swahili to you, I would still have to go through some sort of process through my vessel. So my job is to keep my vessel as clean as possible and keep my mind and thoughts as pure as possible. So what I did before this, because I got a little nervous, I'm going to be honest and vulnerable, is that I had to in clairvoyance we call it blowing up. I had to blow up the performance pictures, because this isn't about me performing for anyone, right? This is about me being in a sacred space, even if it's on computers, to give this information. And so that's always something that to be mindful of when doing this work. So, there's never going to be, they call them clear channels, the ones that are just completely gone, but they're still processing through that person's consciousness on an unconscious level. It's just how it is. And then those beings are consciousness.
Yeah.
So, but, I love what AA says, take what you want, leave the rest, whatever resonates with you. And, I've seen time and time again where this is just working. And I spend a lot of time in doubt with it. Not anymore, but I did. But even last night, there was one person I could tell her auric field was really closed off. And so I just asked the guys to help her, if she needs the information, help it open. And she's like, well, what do you want to say? And then I said, well, there's an aunt with you and a cat, and, I'm getting the name Shirley, and I'm not that psychic that gets names, but it just, because she needed to hear it, it came through. And she's like, yeah, that's my cousin. And I'm not giving any names because it's confidential. And I said, your aunt is saying on the other side that you need to reach out to her. And sure enough, yeah, she just got diagnosed with chronic illness. And that was the whole story. So shit's real.
Yeah, right.
I'm grateful that I'm going to continue to hone these skills, and I'm grateful for you for always believing in me. You've always encouraged me, and I still have my struggles with health. I do want to say that everyone's like, oh, you're totally healed and you're totally in remission. And it's like, I'm still on a journey with it all, and I'm still learning, but I understand now that I somehow contracted to go through all of this health stuff and trauma. And I could write a book about the shit I've been through. I guess we all could, right? But so that I could really serve others. And, again, now I told you I'm dealing with thyroid issues and ballooning out and all this kind of stuff that's really causing a lot of anxiety. And I have to use my own tools that I tell other people. And so somehow, but I have a new contract with myself that I am willing, I'm learning to evolve and grow through ease, grace, and love, and not the hard way. And so that's my mantra on a daily basis now.
Love that. Ease, grace, and love, or ease, grace, and flow.
Yeah. Guide me, direct me, protect me. Lead me, guide me, direct me, protect me. I don't know. There's so many mantras, but.
There's, I've just had a thought that I'd like to offer you is a little healing on the thyroid, because this is something.
You are such a healer. I really want to acknowledge you also. You have this gift. You have the gift of energy medicine. We all do. It's just a matter of getting rid of our blocks. But I do encourage you. They're really telling me to continue on your path of this intuition. And I'm going to stop interrupting you, and you're going to tell me what I can do about my thyroid.
I was just going to offer you one, some kind of form of energy work, because I've shared with you that I've done this with a few people now, just like practicing these skills that apparently I've been doing for lifetimes. So I'd like to offer that to you as a friend and see if that can help.
Part of my healing is receiving more. So I will probably say yes and gratefully say yes. So.
Wonderful. So we ought to conclude now because we've been going for quite some time, but thank you so much for everything you have shared. Is there anything you'd like to share before I ask you one question I ask everyone?
I just want to share that, I never thought I would do this in public, that I would do what we just did. And it just came so naturally because you asked and Spirit said yes. And I'm just really grateful that this transpired.
Wonderful. I'm really grateful that you did it and let the guard down. Yeah. Where can people find you?
KristinKilmer.com, Kristin. People spell my name wrong quite a bit. Kilmer is the easiest. Instagram, Facebook, text me. You can find me on my cell, I think is on Facebook, but KristinKilmer.com.
Great. And
that looks like a design site a lot too. So, anyone wants to give me branding advice, I would fully take it.
There you go. Skillshare offer right there. So I'm going to ask you, what's your number one vitality secret? It may have changed since our last one.
Right now, it's reparenting my mind and body. Getting out of the looping, getting out of just noticing those thoughts and treating my mind and body as if I was a foster child who's been through the ringer. And you're not just going to try one thing on this foster child and give it back and say, 30-day guarantee. You're going to keep trying a lot of different angles so that child can heal and grow. And so we are ancient spirits and we're not our mind and body. They are powerful tools. And, I tend to beat myself up, with my body being sick. But now it's like, look at the beautiful things it does for me. I can see, I can run, I can walk, I can talk. And just really being mindful of taking care of my mind and body.
I think that's amazing advice. And we touched on Joe Dispenza earlier, how we become the conscious observer of our thoughts. And I think the more that we can catch ourselves and identify these thoughts that might spiral us, and if we can kind of acknowledge it and just kind of, as you say, be present with it, but don't kind of sink into it, and then we have the gift of thought that we can kind of redirect things. And the idea of parenting,
it's not my phrase. There's a lot of people doing it. I love the holistic psychologists. I always like to give people credit that I think are doing wonderful work. Joe Dispenza. And then I've been working with a gentleman named Luca Basorgi. He's in Santa Monica. He's all about the mind retraining. So I never stop. We're all work in progress. And what I'm learning, is that I don't need to get to X and always fix myself. We're whole, perfect, complete as we are, but I'm just always going to be on this journey of growth and self-improvement and peeling away the layers. And that's just who I am. And I love it.
That's incredible. What a wonderful note to leave on.
Yay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kristin. You've been wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing this.
Go on the online and do some readings, but I'll do it later.
Okay, thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Vitality Secret podcast. If you like this, please leave a 5-star rating. And if you loved it, please take a few minutes to leave a review. The more ratings and reviews that are left, the easier it is for this life-changing information to get into the hands of people who need it. Don't forget to join my free 7-day program and ignite your inner healer at vitalitysecret.com.